So I stopped. I stopped again. This will be part 3 because my neighbor came outside. I don't think they're outside now, but then I just smoked some CBD weed, so now I'm like, which is so mild, but this was the point, and this was the reason I turned on the first video, the idea that I had, and then I just kept talking, and I'm now getting around to it. But this is most sleep deprived. I'm basically tied with the most sleep deprived I've ever been in my life. And the first night, it was literally from pain. I just couldn't get comfortable all night. And then the second night, I prayed, and I really, really, really asked Jesus and said, please, just please, please, just help me sleep and help my pain. And I was able to actually get comfortable, and more comfortable than I've been able to get in a while. A long while. It was a significant relief from pain I had. It had really started even a little bit earlier that day, but then it really went to a very low level last night. But you know what, I prayed, and I had a good night and everything, and I was doing well. I was feeling well, and every single time I would try to fall asleep, I was just getting sucked into an immediate sleep paralysis nightmare. I was just getting rejected, and then I would just be terrified. It's just like too anxious, and the sleep deprivation, from the first night, I guess, it's like a compounding effect. And I don't know if I've ever had that, but and then finally, because I was laying on my back, and that's supposedly the most common position that sleep paralysis happens in. And I decided, okay, I will try to lay on my left side, because the point I'm at now in my life, I'm only sleeping on my back. I can't really, I can lay on my left or right side. I can't lay on my right side at all now, but I can lay on my left side just a little bit. And like, if I get just the perfect, precise pillow placement with multiple pillows and blankets at different, levels of thickness at very strategic points in between my legs, it's just like playing the lottery, really, to try to actually get to sleep on my left side. But I was actually able to get really comfortable, and my pain had gone down a lot. And when I lay on my side, we had the window open because it was nice outside, and the sun was already starting to come up. Not fully, but like in the early morning, where it's starting to, just fade from black into the light blue. And so when I was laying on my left side, I was right, and I didn't have nightmarish sleep paralysis and like horrible, sad, and just awful, tragic scenarios. But and the light was coming in. The light was coming into my eyes, and I pulled the blanket over because I was like, okay, because that's a thing where the human eye, there's some level of daylight. If your daylight's hitting even your eyelids when they're closed, your brain will have trouble. It's harder. Like darkness basically facilitates sleep. Darkness facilitates sleep. And so I got it, and it was like I hit the right spot. My pain had gone down. I got in the perfect position. And I finally, was falling asleep. But then this time, it was like, it's the immediate second that my brain would start dreaming, there was some conscious part of me still awake. And I don't know if it was like the sound, the combination of the light with the sound of the wind through the open window, or there was like something. You know what it is, actually? Now that I'm thinking about it, you know what it is? It's my pain was relieved so much, and I was finally able to get to such a level of peace. I think that was really just like it was like the easiest that I've fallen asleep, I think, in a very long time. But every time I slip back into it, at first it was terrifying, but then I was like, when I was laying on my left side, I was just laughing. Like, everything that popped into my head, it wasn't dark stuff anymore. It was just very, very extremely absurd stuff. And, like I had this was the only one of the only clear thoughts I had that just I as soon as it hit my mind, I was bursting out laughing, and I was like laughing, and I was still half asleep, but then I was waking up. I found myself waking up and still laughing, and then I would like try to go back to sleep, and this went on for like 30 minutes, 40. I was half asleep, but I don't know how long it went on. And I hadn't realized it. It just kept happening, and then it was waking Taylor up, and Taylor, and I had just had sleep paralysis earlier, and she had because I had this like there was this dark cat on the roof right outside the window, and I thought I was awake, and it was like about to like just jump straight down like at an angle and crash through the window. It's like not a normal cat, just an evil cat. And that was scary, man. I've had some very nightmarish cat and doppelganger. It's like I'll see one of my cats, and then I'll see another cat and realize like that one of them, or like either the first or the second one, realize like, oh, that's the imposter. Like that is, and it's like the most evil presence. Like the imposter. Imposter is just darkness. Just something that wants to eat you alive. But then, anyways, so I woke Taylor up with the laughing. But then it was like even this never happened to me, and I've looked it up, and this is it would be attributed to scientifically, I guess, to mental fatigue from sleep deprivation. But people just start losing it at a certain point, and I couldn't stop laughing, and I didn't know what I was laughing at, man. It was freaky. I didn't know what I was laughing at. But I couldn't stop, and it was like, I don't know if there's some subconscious like sense of humor that is just unleashed, and it was just the polar opposite. And every time I would wake up laughing, and I'd be like, okay, but it was different waking up laughing. It's easier to wake up laughing than it is just terrified, because when you wake up laughing, it propels you out of it, man. It just you laugh and you're out immediately. You don't get trapped in it, man. You don't get trapped in it, and you don't have it telling you that you don't have a choice. You don't have it trying to control your consciousness, your decisions, your free will. It's completely different, but it still kept me from sleeping. So now I stayed up and woke up with, Taylor woke up and got ready for work, and I usually sleep a little quite later than her, 2-3 hours later. And I was like, oh, I won't just try to go to sleep right this second as she's leaving. She's gonna leave in like an hour and a half. So I just stayed up the next hour and a half with her. And then I finally laid down again, dude. And it was just like, it was a third thing happening, where it was like just I was just sobbing, man. And it wasn't fear. It wasn't like that terror. It was just grief. just grief. It was the same thing where, like, when I was afraid, I would wake up and I would still be scared. When I was laughing, I would wake up and I would still be cracking up. And I don't know when it's over. And I woke up crying, and I don't know. And I'm about to try to go back to sleep. I know you're at this point, you're like, trying to freaking sleep, dude. And so I took some melatonin. I looked it up Reddit. And I looked up sleep deprivation nightmares. It's just a common thing. It's a loop that people get stuck in where it's like you lose the sleep, you know, and then you try to sleep the next night. But you're so frazzled from losing sleep that you're just wired. That just getting attacked by nightmares, and it just compounds. It's just gross. Oh man, I'm gonna put the phone in my pocket, dude. I have to get a tissue. Man, I have a obscene, I don't even, now amount of snot coming out of my nose because I have so much mucus trapped up in the bone tumors and all of this sinuses. Oh man, I gotta blow my nose several times. Hold on. Put my blunt wrap down. I have to do this in the frame. It's nasty. Oh, that is. I'm not gonna like hold it. That would be so. This is not Nickelodeon slime time or something. Gross out performance piece where I do that, gross you out real quick on this part of the story. No. Man. But actually, that crying, that's about one of the only ways I have so much stuff trapped up here, and like, I had this stuff carved out of my skull, just in, what was it, 2015, the end of 2015. I'm going to actually sit down on the toilet real quick. I can't stand up that long anymore. Blow my nose a little bit more. Man, I bet it would actually be good if I cried. Like those regular, but that's crying hard, man. That's rare for me. Oh my goodness. I'm thankful for that, actually. I am For real? That's that is a lot. I mean, you can breathe a little clearer. Man, I have so much snot trapped up there. And I try blowing my nose. It's like it's beyond nose blowing. It's just bone tumors. Oh man, this is so nasty. That snot that came down in my facial hair. What if I just shaved the mustache off? Just just the mustache and then kept the Amish thing, but no mustache. That would look so. I should troll Taylor. That I'm gonna do that at some point. I'm gonna do that and Taylor will come out. That's crazy. I have to do, I'm sorry for anyone. I can provide links for the timestamp where it's like, oh, if this was where I was just kind of blowing my nose, and there's still some commentary, but I just have to keep it uninterrupted like that. Man. Have not been able to do as much as I would like to in here. Alright. Back in my pocket. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. No. Not sleep deprived enough to do that. Not let me do it. Oh man, do I have? I don't think it's not in my, under my chin beard area, but it is definitely tears. I have some tears in my, make that a country song. I got a beard full of tears. The old dirt road, I was driving drunk. And my beard was full of tears. And then just have it get, there needs to be more the mainstream just totally pop country meshed with the totally pop rap. They need to just turn it into one just mind numbing, and there's multiple layered, just so many catchy beats layered, and people just, it's actually can't stop listening to it, and there's just one genre. And everybody, and people just get radical about it. And there's just there's only one genre. Oh, what are you listening to? No, that's not the right music. And it'll get to the point where there'll just be man, there'll only really be 2 or 3 songs out at a time. You turn on all the pop radio stations, the 3 or 4 or 5 different pop radio stations in your local area, and it's really no more than 5 songs just being played at different, they try to time them at different points, so you can always find one of them at any point. Man, look at this. You see that? Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? You see yourself? That's what it looks like when you clean. You see a cat? She doesn't see. She's like, I don't know what you did. I think she was looking at herself. Hold on.